So here it is, the prize for the small car shootout. It is a 1975 Volkswagen Rabbit, otherwise known as the Volkswagen Golf Mark 1 GTI. This one is a green light, and it's a bit different. It's from the Green Light Hobby Shop series, and this prize will be sent out to the winning driver wherever they are in the world. Greetings Diecast Racing fans, Sharky here, and welcome back to Vulcan Raceway for this episode 4 of the small car shootout. Today it's the top 8, and we will see the first 4 vehicles moving forward into the grand final, episode 7, in a few weeks time. We'll also see the other 4 cars that will be sent to redemption, which will then give them a last shot at the final 2 spaces in the grand final. So who have we got racing today? In car 1 we've got Cuboid. In car 3 we've got Shake and Bake Matt Baker. In car 4 we've got Brandon from the Scale Racing channel. In car 9 we've got Mark Rich 21, the first of our rookies. In car 10 we've got Kitsune, the second of our rookies. In car 11 we've got Insane G. In car 14 we've got Rayne, the final of our rookies, the third of our rookies. All 3 rookies have made it through to the top 8. Interesting there. And finally, rounding out the whole of the top 8, in car 16 is Hakari Rayne. Never a man to be ruled out. He is a long-term racer here, and hopefully the stuff with Princess Sparkles has not got him too off his stride, shall we say. So, set 1, Cuboid, Matt Baker, Brandon and Mark Rich 21. Set 2, Kitsune, Insane G, Rayne and Hakari Rayne. Who are my top picks for today? Well, you cannot rule out Brandon from the Scale Racing channel. He came through to the top 8 on 18 points. I think he will definitely be going through to the grand final. Insane G came through on 16 points in set 2, but set 2 is going to be interesting because we have got 3 red vehicles in set 2, which is going to make calling it for me challenging, shall we say. But let's get the track overview done, get up to the line and get down to the racing. Before we do all that, don't forget to do the usual things: like, comment and subscribe. Mine Blue Metro. Rainbow Girls winning Lotus from the last one. Police are here. The Vulcans. Some of the drivers' cars. James Sterling's JPS Lotus. Cuboid and Hakari are racing today. There's a track owner's car. Set 1 and set 2, and the bottom 8 are also here. Track safety team stand ready. Oh look, there's the track owner in the stands. Our thanks go out to our track sponsors: Kelden Raven at Kelden Raven Customs, Cuboid at 4 Cubed Racing, my brother Phil at Tomley RC, John at Modelmatic stood there with Kelden Raven and the Flying Fenman, and this episode's main sponsor, the team at the BERCC. Let's get this 4 up to the line and get down to the racing action. Here we go, all set up for race 1 of set 1 of this, the top 8, and up at the line. On the front of the blue lane is the orange car of Cuboid. On the front of the yellow lane is, on the front of the red lane is the yellow car of Shake and Bake Matt Baker. Behind him in the lime is Brandon in the Scale Racing channel, and on the rear of the blue lane is the red car of Mark Rich 21. 3, 2, 1, race. Yellow, orange, they all finished. I'm going to have to check on the finish line camera. I think it was yellow, orange, red, then lime, but I'm not quite certain. Well, race 1 was really tight, and the end results of that It was yellow, orange, lime and red. The back end of the lime just crossed the line before the red pushed everybody else clear. So Cuboid is on 3 points, Matt Baker is on 5, Brandon is on 2 and Mark Rich 21 is on a single point. Moving on to race 2. On the front of the blue lane is Mark Rich in the red. On the front of the red is Cuboid in the orange. Behind him is the yellow of Matt Baker. And on the rear of the blue lane is Brandon in the lime. 3, 2, 1, race. And nobody finishes, we'll go for a reset. 3, 2, 1, race. Red, lime, orange, yellow. Well, that was quick and interesting on that reset. Moving on to race 3. C's Brandon in the lime on the front of the blue lane. The red is on the front of the red lane, which is Mark Rich 21. Behind him is Cuboid in the orange, and on the rear of the blue lane is the yellow of Shake and Bake Matt Baker. 3, 2, 1, race. Lime, yellow, red and orange fails to finish. Such a close thing for Cuboid there, not just getting across the line, as the photo you've probably just seen will show you by now. We are now back up the line for race 4 of set 1. On the front of the blue lane is the yellow of Matt Baker. On the front of the red lane is the lime of Brandon. Behind Brandon is the red of Mark Rich, and on the rear of the blue lane is Cuboid in the orange with it all to do. Cuboid is on 5 points, Mark Rich is on 8, Matt Baker is on 9 and Brandon is on 10. So we'll see how this one goes. 3, 2, 1, race. Oh, and red doesn't finish, but the other 3 do. I think Cuboid was second. I'll have to look at the overhead cam to give you the results. So results of set 1 are as follows. On 14 points, Matt Baker in the yellow. On 13 points, Brandon in the lime. On 8 points, Mark Rich in the red. And on just 7 points, Cuboid in the orange. Moving on to set 2, and they're up at the line, and it's all the red ones, and it's going to be difficult for me to call, but here we go. On the front of the blue lane is Kitsune in the plain red. On the front of the red lane is Insane G in the metallic red. On the rear of the red lane is Rayne in the grey. And on the rear of the blue lane is Hakari in the red with the Union Jack on the roof. 3, 2, 1, race. Union Jack, metallic red, red and grey fails to finish. So moving on to race 2, Hakari is on the front of the blue lane, Kitsune is on the front of the red lane, Insane G in the other Fiat 500 is on the rear of the red lane, and the other Mini, the one from BMW that Insane G is driving, is on the rear of the blue lane. 3, 2, 1, race. Hakari, Kitsune, Insane G and then Rayne. they're certainly putting it all down today and making my job difficult making these calls. Anyway, on the front of the blue lane is the grey of Rayne. On the front of the red lane is the Union Jack of Hakari. Behind him is the rookie Kitsune in the red. And on the rear of the blue lane is Insane G in the metallic red. 3, 2, 1, race. Grey is the only one to finish. Set up for race 4, and they've all got it to do, because there is 3 points between the lowest point scorer and the highest point scorer, and they all need to be over 7 or 8 points to get through, because those were the two top lower point scores from set 1. Currently on 5 points is Kitsune, on 6 points is Rayne, on 7 points is Insane G, and on 8 points is Hakari. Insane G in the metallic red is on the front of the blue lane. Rayne in the grey is on the front of the red lane. Behind her is Hakari in the Union Jack, and Kitsune, the rookie, is on the rear of the blue lane in the plain red. 3, 2, 1, race. Grey, red, metallic red, red, I think. I'll come back to you with the conclusions. So folks, the top 8 has given us some thrills and spills, lots of tight racing action and some very, very interesting results. Lined up behind me in the 2 sets, the first off, the 4 going straight through to the grand final, episode 7. Directly behind me we have Shake and Bake Matt Baker in the yellow 76 Honda CVCC on 14 points. Next to him, Brandon from the Scale Racing channel in the lime 85 Honda City Turbo, going through to the grand final on 13 points. Then jointly tied on 11 points, Hakari and Rayne in the 2 BMWs. Well, no, they're not BMWs, the 2 Minis. So the proper Mini, the Morris Mini, driven by Hakari with the Union Jack on the roof, went through on 11 points. And then Rayne in that grey BMW Mini Cooper Countryman also went through on 11 points. In the rear row, we've got all the Fiat 500s, and we've got Cuboid. So, car 11, Insane G, in the metallic red 2014 Fiat 500 goes through to the redemption on 9 points. Mark Rich 21, the rookie, in the red 2016 Fiat 500X goes through to redemption on 8 points. Cuboid in the orange 73 Honda Civic Custom goes through to redemption on 7 points. And the other rookie, Kitsune, in the red 2019 Fiat 500 Turbo goes through to redemption on 6 points. Cuboid's really going to have to pull his finger out. Those Fiats are fast. We'll see what happens in 1, 2, 3 weeks time with redemption. Next week we have got the bottom 8, which will see the first 4 eliminations from the competition, and which 4 will go through to face the 4 in the back row in redemption. Thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you all again next week.